Hi, this is Sandy Sims with the legendary Accord Sequarallel. This video will give you an example of using multiple tracks for a Euclidean type of structure. The Voicer 12 sample player has 3 samples patched to unlikely sources. Two SDS VCOs and the rest is MIDI out to 2 Yamaha GM MIDI synths and a Korg on channel 5. TRAX'es 1 has the main kick drum in a double clocked 8-step sequence of 2. This of course goes to channel 10 for GM drums. TRAX'es 2 has a mid snare with 3 hits over 12 steps. Also double clocked. TRAX'es 3 has a high snare, 4 hits, over 10 steps. So even distribution demands a 2-3-2-3 sequence. TRAX'es 4 has 7 steps and 5 hits of different notes, which aren't evenly distributed, breaking away from the Euclidean law. I figured this would be okay if the clock steps are only 1-to-1. Plus, there are effects on all the notes to echo 7 times at 1.5 steps, so it can fill the open space. The randomly started microarp steps include +1 and +2 octaves for variation. The probability is just slightly off 100%, so every once in a while a note will disappear. The effects also adds a fixed start point glide to every note, mostly for the VCOs, and switches the channel to a rock organ. Nothing switches it otherwise, like a skipped FX step, so it's always that PC for now. Interestingly, TRAX'es 4 also triggers the Voicer 12 samples 1 and 2 through the arpeggiators in clock sync from MIDI channel 1, but more on this later. Here is TRAX'es 4 in solo. The drums are purely the Voicer 12 sampler right now. It uses a lot of sound space, partly because the arpeggiator from this channel. TRAX'es 5 has the flowery bits and is 13 steps long at double clock time on channel 2. This breaks free of the Euclidean plot also, but being 13 steps, I don't think it really matters. The resonance and cuts are coming from this TRAX'es. FX1 just uses microarp to offset to 4 different notes. FX2 has a slight randomization on the effects feed level, varying 4 echoes of all the notes in this step. The microarp is not used here because of the chord on this effects. But there is a program change to 111, a fiddle sound, just for these notes and their echoes, which won't happen every time the chord plays, as dictated by the map. And the 9 odd steps of it. CC71, resonance, is up, while CC74, which is the cut filter, is varied from a free-running envelope-generated CV input through CC5. Now, FX3 is on the first note of the sequence. And it's mainly to set the program change to 106, which is a plucky banjo sound. The CCs, especially CC74, needs to have a higher cutoff frequency for this, so the banjo rings out noticeably. The resonance is slightly less to kill the whistling effects that can happen with some sounds, this one in particular. So that's it for TRAX'es 5. Notice that the clock is being divided by 2. This is so my DJ clock, running at 120 right now, won't make it too cluttered, and of course too fast. Here in MIDI push you can see CC5 input is being sent to TRAX'es 5A, note effects 2, CC2 value, the cut filter. CC6 is outputting a quick pulse to the voicer 12, which sometimes, not often actually, triggers a cymbal sound. This is because the voicer's processor scans for an input and often misses very short pulses less than 1 millisecond long. It's a prototype. So scanning down, you can see the default instruments for channel 1 and 2. Channel 5 is null, so I can select that on the Korg. In CV mode, all of the jacks originate from channel 1. Channel 1 is used by TRAX'es 4, if you recall. This is so the arpeggiators can all use the chord steps in varying ways, which I'll show you next. CC1 is the before-mentioned sine wave envelope output, which is patched back into CC5 to control the cutoff on FX4, or FX2, I mean, in TRAX'es 5A. CC6, as I mentioned, is configured to send a pulse every time TRAX'es 1 loops, as can be seen here. So the order is set to arpeggiator mode, and the first ARP, besides the first VCO, is sending to MIDI channel 4, which is the default piano sound right now. It will step in 1/8 time, or 2 times clock speed, as notes in TRAX'es 4's lane 1 are encountered. The output mask is 10 steps long, but has several steps turned off to thin it out a bit. The second ARP is sending a latch sequence to the Korg on channel 5 at a 1/12 step time, 3 on every clock. The mask is reset on every new note encountered, but with the slower steps of TRAX'es 4, more than 14 masks can occasionally be cycled through, making a medium scarce synth sequence on the Korg possible, as you can hear. It also tacks on an octave at that point. The third ARP is what triggers the Voicer's 12's first sample, a deep kick. The fourth ARP is sending notes on MIDI channel 9, which is program change 114, and a go-go sound. It's actually been set in MIDI push, I just didn't show it. This mask is a simple 2 in 5 steps at 4 steps per clock. In the playlist, the only complexity is on TRAX'es 5. It has 2 PL effects that turn off and on a scale to cause a key change. Only on TRAX'es 5 though. Because TRAX'es 5's 13 steps, the actual loop size has been doubled to 26 per block. You wouldn't think this would work, but somehow it does. So here's a look at all the notes playing. It's quite a few, isn't it? Here it is without TRAX'es 4. TRAX'es 1, TRAX'es 2, and TRAX'es 3. So only 5 is playing. At this point, a playlist song effects sequence could be used to cycle through some scale quantization. Or just to transpose everything around. I'm still having fun with the Sequarallel. I hope you are too. Thanks for watching. Cheers!